Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Well, Boy George's childhood friend, they've known each other since they were 14. Fat Tony. His real name is Tony Warnock. He joins me now. I don't like calling you Fat Tony, but I know that's your name.
Get over it, Lorraine.
I know. And Lucy Cave is here as well, entertainment journalist. We saw there, I mean, that was genuinely, he genuinely just doesn't know what to do.
You know, that's really George.
Yeah.
That's George. You know, the tears, they weren't put on for the camera. That's George. You know, that whole period where his mum was ill in the middle of the COVID situation. And, you know, he's speaking for a nation.
I think he is.
So many people feel the same. People are finding this hard to watch because of the situation that they went through.
Yeah.
You know, lockdown was really, really, really an awful time for so many people because we were powerless. And George is powerless in there as well because, you know, he's in a situation with somebody of that magnitude of dislike to a nation, that dislike, you know, and what Matt Hancock stands for, and, you know, to be put into a confined space. The jungle sounds like a big space. It's not a big space.
Yeah.
And what we saw last night was George being George. You know, those tears were real. And, you know, I knowing George the way I know George, I'd give it 2 to 3 days before he has to express his feelings to Matt Hancock.
Yeah, because I think everybody's pussyfooting just now, aren't they, Lucy? They're all kind of just sussing it out and how to be... Because, you know, if they gang up on him, the danger is everybody feels sorry for him. Yeah. I doubt that will happen, to be honest. But it's really hard, and especially for somebody like George who says what he thinks, you know, he does.
But again... I mean, I watched that. I think that the viewing figures would have gone through the roof last night because just having someone like that in there, as you say, of that magnitude, and that everyone is just sort of shocked and doesn't know how to react, and are they going to confront him? What's going to happen? That's why it's such kind of brilliant TV at the same time, rightly or wrongly.
So many people are scared of the confrontation with him because they just, you know, it's not how Matt Hancock comes across, it's how they come across. It's what's going to be seen.
That's difficult, isn't it?
So they're all sitting there, literally walking on eggshells.
Yeah.
Whereas George is going to actually have to say it to him because George is one of these people that doesn't harbour. You know, he will voice it. First of all, to a few people, and then he'll go and confront him. It's the way he'll do it. He won't do it in a bitchy, nasty way. I mean, I would, but he wouldn't. For him, he will go and have that conversation. Yeah. He's going to have that conversation that the rest of the nation wants.
Yeah, and I think he'll need to do that, don't you, Lucy?
People are definitely waiting for that, and I mean... That's why people were kind of sad that Olivia Attwood went out because they thought she would really have gone for him and given him quite a roasting. And you want to see some kind of confrontation in there and him to sort of have to explain some of his behaviour, I think.
I mean, I'm looking for... I think, you know, confrontation's one thing. I don't think that's going to be George's thing. I think it's going to be more of an intelligent conversation, which is what the nation want. Yeah. It's easy to have a row with Matt Hancock. It's easy to react. I mean, I'm the world's worst reactor. You know, I react to everything. But I think what we want from this is an explanation.
Yeah.
We want...
And a bit of humility would be nice as well.
Yeah.
A little bit of that would be nice.
And get rid of the serial killer laugh.
Yes, it is very disconcerting, Tony. Very disconcerting. We're worried about that. Now, look, we've got a first look at Matt Hancock's trial tonight because, obviously, he's going to be doing them all. I feel sorry for everyone else. You know, they're chomping at the bit. You know, like Jill really wants to do a trial, but they're not going to get a chance. Have a little look at this.
Oh, you've got to hold your breath for a long time.
Yeah, you do. You know you don't have to hold your breath.
Oh, I don't?
Just him.
Oh. Good going, this. Down we go again. Your air hole gets smaller.
What did you call it?
Air hole.
Do you know what? Ant and Dick are on fire.
So good.
Gosh, they were so funny last night. But I thought he wasn't allowed to do water trials. Was there not something about the
trench foot?
Trench foot.
Oh, what a hero!
Celebrity SAS.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, is there going to be a show that he's not going to be in?
I mean, disappointingly, he looks like he's doing quite well in there.
Yeah.
I think people were voting him in the trials because they want him to suffer, and I think he's just kind of getting on with it, which you saw in the first one.
I think maybe let's stop voting for him to do the trials and stop giving him that airtime.
True.
You know what?
That's
the way to deal with this. You know what I mean? Because you're giving him airtime. that's why he's in there. He wants to be Matt Hancock.
Yes.
And I think as a nation, we kind of do that. We kind of think, let's get him to do this. Because, you know, the nation doesn't want to watch him being covered in guns. They want to watch him being covered in something far worse. And they're not going to get that. So I think stop voting for him.
Oh, that's
give the rest of the team players a go. And stop giving him the airtime.
And let him just sort of like sit in the corner.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to be his friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Just shunned and nobody cares.
Let him go. Let him clean the
Brilliant,
dunny.
yes.
That's what he needs to be doing with his tongue.
George did it. George did his
Well, his
bit.
tongue.
He said no. He took his turn to clean it all out.
of
And
course,
he went
because he's
there.
a team player.
He's a team player.
And you know what? Is Matt Hancock a team player, or is Matt Hancock in there to be Matt Peacock? This is the thing.
Good one.
But do you get what I'm saying? This is the thing
Yes.
that we kind of... And we're buying into that as a nation. We love to buy into that. And I think let's stop giving him airtime for a week and see the difference.
Oh, that's fascinating. I think Tony said, I think he's on to something
I know, I
there,
think
don't
you need to be in the producer's ears when they're...
Definitely. Because the trouble is, you're right, he's going to dominate everything. And then we're not going to see people like George. And we're not going to see big characters. I mean, Chris Moyles you've hardly seen.
I know, which is...
Sue, you've hardly seen from Connie.
All of those other people... Sue Cleaver, come on. I mean,
who we love.
You know, she's an icon.
Yes.
And we're not seeing her.
No.
Although there are some really nice moments. I think one of the things that has come through is those unusual blossoming friendships that you get in I'm a Celebrity.
Yeah.
So, you know, Sue and George, that's probably not such an unusual friendship, but I really like the way they are together.
Yeah, great.
I really like the way Jill is with Owen. I think you would never have put those two
Not
together.
in a million years, but it works.
It really
works so beautifully.
And, you know, so I think we're getting glimmers of that, but I think you're right now.
I think we
he's
need
in
to
there.
see that, a bit more of that. And
A bit more of that and a bit less of the Hancock or the Peacock,
100%.
as he's now going to be called.
Yeah, Matt Peacock.
Tony
You know.
has dubbed him the Peacock. Thank you both so much.